Everyone, welcome to our council meeting for our February 8th, 2023. Notice that this meeting has been duly advertised in compliance with the provision of the Open Public Meetings Law. Please be advised that this meeting is being audio recorded for possible later playback. Everyone, please rise for the flag salute.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now everybody remain standing for 1 moment, please, for PK Wheeler, who's the ex-assistant chief of the fire company who passed away this week. Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hess? Here. Councilman Lindenwold.
Here.
Councilman Morrissey.
Here.
Councilwoman Patton.
Here.
Councilwoman Sinnon.
Here.
President Randolph Sharp.
Here.
Mayor.
Here. First up, approval of minutes of council meeting and executive session for December 14th and December 28th. Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lindenwold.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Abstain.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnon.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Abstention for meeting of December the 14th.
Entertain a motion for approval of minutes of council meeting January 4th.
So moved.
And second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lindenwold.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnon.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Anyway, payment of the bills, please. I got it.
Make a motion that the bills have been properly audited and signed be approved for payment.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lindenwold.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnon.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
The following reports have been filed and are available in their respective offices for review and will be included in the minutes. The tax collector's report, the sewer report, and the treasurer's report. First reading, ordinance 2023-01. Councilor. Oh, you don't think I can shit.
This is to amend ordinance concerning the fee schedule for dangerous towns.
Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion that ordinance 2023-01, amending chapter 75, be adopted as read on first reading, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall, with the second reading being held at our next regular scheduled meeting.
And a second, please.
Session.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lindenwold.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnon.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
First reading, ordinance 2023-02. Councilor.
This is to amend the rental inspection ordinance, provide for various notice provisions and scheduling inspections.
Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion that ordinance 2023-002, amending chapter 250, article 2, residential inspections, be adopted as read on first reading, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall, with the second reading being held at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lindenwold.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnon.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
First reading, ordinance 2023-02.
It's an ordinance which amends fee schedule as pertains to the charges for various documentation from the borough.
Entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion that ordinance 2023-01, amending 03, thank you, amending the fee schedule, be adopted as read on first reading, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall, with the second reading being held at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lindenwold.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnon.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
First reading, ordinance 2023-04, Council.
Ordinance which provides indemnification in certain circumstances for officers, employees, and elected officials for negligent conduct.
And second, first.
Make a motion that ordinance 2023-04, amending chapter 24 for public officials, be adopted as read on first reading, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall, and the second reading being held at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
And second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilman Marcy.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnet. Yes. President Bellshaw.
Yes.
Next, the consent agenda. The items listed below are considered routine by the Borough of Lindenwold and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no formal discussions of these items. If discussion is these items, this item will be removed from consent agenda and will be considered separately. Entertain a motion for resolution 2023-72 through 82.
Make a motion for resolution consent agenda items 2023-72 through 82.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnet. Yes. President Bellshaw.
Yes.
The engineer? Here we go. Oh, I'm sorry, I have two more resolutions first. All right, entertain a motion for resolution 2023-83.
Resolution authorizing the appointment of John Holroyd as the construction official.
And a second, please.
Second.
Oh, sorry. I have some motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnet. Yes. President Bellshaw.
Yes.
Next, resolution 2023-84.
Resolution authorizing the hire of Dorothy Davis as temporary part-time clerk.
Entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess. Yes. Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnet. Yes. President Bellshaw.
Yes.
Now it's your turn, sir. Engineers report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Proposals, we have a proposal for the Union Square Drive and the Square Place improvement that were funded by the DOT. We just submitted today. We also submitted a proposal today for Gopher Ave roadway improvements under the CDBG funding. Current projects, we passed along the resolution that was passed at the last council meeting to the DOT for the traffic control signal request. They're in the process of collecting survey information, preparing over the next 3 months before they get any design. Projects in construction for both Linden Town Phase 2 and Cooper Avenue. We're just in the closeout process, coordinating with the DOT through PRS. That's all I
They
got.
look really good, thank you. Anybody have any questions for the engineer?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. This time we're opening meeting to council. Councilman Morrison.
Okay, the fire department in January responded to 66 calls, including trash, house, mutual aid, and accidents, where no serious fires occurred. I don't have a breakdown, unfortunately. The new ladder truck that was approved in last year's fire district election has been ordered, but due to the general supply chain issues, delivery will not be expected until late next year or early 2025. The fire department has an ISO, an Insurance Services Office's rating of 3 out of 10. 1 is the best rating, 10 is the worst. And basically, it's a rating of how efficiently the fire department services and protects the community. And typically, the departments that rank 1 and 2 are ones that have paid departments and have lots of extra equipment, extra trucks, so if a truck goes out of service for maintenance, they have another one they can just roll in and replace. Speaking of which, there's a fire district election coming up on Saturday, February 18th. You can vote in person from 2 to 9 p.m. at the Scott Avenue Firehouse, 801 Scott Avenue. Two of the existing fire commissioners are up for re-election, Tammy DeLuca and Wayne Hans, and their budget is up for approval. I have a couple of copies available with me of budget summary if anybody's interested. The next fire commissioners meeting is March 7th at 7:30 p.m. at 801 Scott. And if you need if anybody is interested in volunteering, you can contact the fire district official either by phone or in person weekdays from 8 to 4. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Hess.
Thank you, Mayor. Lindenwold Public Works. We have for January, tons of trash collected, 747 tons. Recycling, 91.88. Resident assistance, bulk items collected, 168. Scrap metal picked up, 51. Concrete picked up, 1. Stumps and logs, 4. Number of injuries, 1. Service calls, 51. Stoppages, 18. Main stoppages, 1. Emergency calls, 22. Markouts, 20. Pump station repairs, 10. Troubled areas jetted, 2. For Laurel Springs, we have 1 service call and 1 emergency call. That's the report for Public Works. Now we have Lindenwold Police. For January, total call service, 1,909. Traffic accidents, 39. Community policing, 111. Traffic enforcement and stops, 103. Criminal complaints issued by officers, 50. Traffic summons issued by officers, 51. Criminal complaints issued by citizens, 24. Zero traffic summons issued by citizens. Detective Bureau investigations, 48. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Council President.
I have a couple things tonight. We will be meeting, the media team will be meeting this month to talk about freshening up our website and also our upcoming newsletter and Channel 192. The Code Enforcement Office is moving ahead on the SDL platform. We're still getting acclimated to it. Nadine shared with me that she began using it as well. So it is being implemented. And, we'll get there with everybody when you're using it as a daily platform. We'd also like to welcome Jessica to the Code Enforcement Office. Jessica is a resident of Lindenwold. I don't want to mention her last name, but if you go in, you can meet her. She's also bilingual, which is an asset to the office and very helpful in serving our residents. The business connection, I'm looking at possibly April and May. My mercantile person just came back on a part-time basis, so I'll give her a little bit of time to get back up to speed, and then we'll start to look at rolling that out. The report from our Code Enforcement Office this month, and this is for January 2023, was 103 CO inspections, 13 smoke inspections, 121 violations found, 59 violations written, 96 abatements, 6 tickets written by our code enforcement officer, 5 tickets to court, 7 tickets in court in person with 1 trial, 687 rental registrations, 49 yearly rental registrations. There was a total of 21 cars that were tagged and towed from Lindenwold, abandoned vehicles, 0 clothing bin tags, 0 trailers tagged, 5 sites found to be working without a permit, 1 business found to be open without a mercantile license, 1 business opened without approval, 2 dumpsters on the street, no approval, 25 street opening inspections. This is your sidewalks, curbs, and aprons, 3 residents communication. So once again, the office has been very busy. Some of you will see, if you look either behind me or forward, that we are recognizing Black History Month. So happy Black History Month to everyone. And I would like to share with you the history of Black History Month and how it became Black History Month in the month of February in the United States. Carter G. Woodson, which is the man you see pictured on the screen, is known as the father of Black history. Born in 1875 in Huntington, West Virginia, the son of parents who were once enslaved. He earned his PhD from Harvard University in 1912 and became the second Black person to do so. Dr. Woodson served as the Dean of Howard University in Washington, D.C. In 1915, Dr. Woodson formed the Association for Study of Negro Life History, also known as ASNLH, which is still in existence to this day. In 1926, Dr. Woodson launched Negro History Week. He realized the need for African American history to be included and recognized in the teachings of American history. Dr. Woodson chose February to honor Abraham Lincoln, whose birthday is February 12th, and Frederick Douglass, whose assumed birthday is February the 14th. They didn't take records back then, but they think it was around February the 14th. In 1976, 50 years after the Negro History Week began, President Gerald Ford declared through Proclamation S-443 February as Black History Month. President Ford called on the country to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. 74 years after Dr. Woodson began the Negro History Week, Congress officially recognized Black History Month in 1986. Sadly, Dr. Woodson passed away in 1950 before seeing the fruits of his work. However, every president since Ronald Reagan has signed Proclamation S-443 honoring Black History Month. Black History Month is also celebrated in Canada, the Netherlands, the UK, Ireland, Spain, and Denmark. They celebrate it in the month of October. Germany also celebrates Black History Month, but they rotate from year to year on what month they celebrate it. President Obama said it best in 2016, but Black History Month should not be treated like something outside of American history, or something just boiled down to a compilation of greatest hits from the March on Washington, or honoring some of our sports heroes. It is the lived and shared experiences of all African Americans, high and low, famous and obscure, and how those experiences have shaped and challenged and ultimately strengthened America. It's about taking an unvarnished look at the past so that we can create a better future. It is a reminder of where we are as a country, where we have been, so we know where we are going. That's end quote. So I encourage everybody to explore African American history, not just in the month of February. It's around all the time, to look at it and just really study the accomplishments and the journeys of African American and all people in this country, not just limited to that. And African American history is part of the tapestry of American history. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Councilwoman Lindenwold.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. As far as schools, the HAVC improvements at school number 5 are temporarily postponed due to supply and demand issues. They're waiting for more contractors to come and do the job. There's a new wellness program in a high school cafeteria to provide healthier food choices. Superintendent Kristen O'Neill has a new outreach program called the Lions Minutes. This is something new where she converses with the students. Also, the students, they've been doing this alumni thing, and they're going to start an actual alumni chapter. So if you're Lindenwold alumni, you might want to look into that. The winter concert, it was a splendid success. The kids were just great, and there was a solemn moment when the students played a tribute to Gianna Taylor. If anybody knows Gianna Terrell, she was a student of the class of 2021, and she recently passed, so we ask that you keep her family and friends in your prayers. The Wedding Singer is this year's spring play. It will be held on March 30th, 31st, and April 1st. Park and Recs, the fencing has been placed around the dog park, and the signs will be posted shortly, so look forward to going to the dog park if you have a dog. The dugouts down at Lindenwold Field, the baseball field, are going to be reconditioned. Our Public Works Director said he'll probably go with the corrugated metal roof system this time to resolve our shingle issues. And also, we're looking into posting no smoking, no vaping signs in the park down there. Also, I see the chief's here. I want to congratulate him at the Celebrating Life and Legacy service at a church. He received the Martin Luther King Award. That's a Lighthouse Deliverance Church. He received the Martin Luther King Award. Congratulations, Chief. That's a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, my neighbors. I was given the privilege of becoming liaison of the Historic Committee this year. And as fate would have it, I was also speaking with Erica Fortune of Lindenwold about her family history. And I would like to take time to speak about a legend of Lindenwold that I've come to know through her children and her grandchildren. And that's Helen Geneva Harrison. Ms. Harrison was married to the late Earl Harrison Jr., residing on East Walnut Avenue in Lindenwold. The Harrisons raised 9 children, 5 girls and 4 boys. Ms. Harrison was a stay-at-home mom until all her children were out of high school. Then she went back to school, graduated from Camden County College, Blackwood campus with a degree in early childhood education, making the dean's list. In 1979, she was hired as a director at Lindenwold BPUM Daycare Center. Ms. Harrison was elected to the Lindenwold Board of Education in 1983, and she served on Lindenwold Council from 1985 to 1992. She belonged to the Lindenwold Civics Club, where she helped raise funds to erect the former club building on Elm Avenue. According to her daughter, Miss Virginia, Ms. Harrison believed that her beloved Lindenwold to be a strong, tight-knit community, and no one was ever to be left without food, clothing, or shelter. Helen was a strong and very respected community icon who served our community until she passed away in 2001. And if you would like to add any contributions to Lindenwold's history, please get in touch with me at 856-573-8222. And as far as the library is concerned, Project ELF, 190 students across 62 families with at least 3 gifts per child and at least $15 in gift cards. Most families receive $50 to Walmart. Veterans receive gift cards. 600 gifts donated. Cash and gift cards were also collected. 35 boxes of food from the Boy Scouts. Donations received from Lindenwold Public School staff, Lindenwold Borough employees, Lindenwold Police Department, emergency dispatchers, Friends of Lindenwold Library, LHS Senior Class, Bethany Baptist Church, My Creek Family, and Advanced Scales. And there are also 1040 and 1040 SR IRS tax forms, but delivered in English and Spanish and available at the library. And I want to thank our library manager for giving me this information. Last but not least, our public events applications are in and on the calendar, and within the next month or two, we'll start announcing those events. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For our COVID update, today the CDC has us at a high level in Camden County that cases are going up. The World Health Organization has stated there's a new variant of Omicron, and it's the XBB.1.5, and they're saying it's the most transmissional, again, as they always say, that's the most one that you can get. But your infection period is 1 to 2 days before you get symptoms that you'll begin, and it remains contagious until 2 to 3 days after your symptoms started. Also, they said if you had another variant of COVID, that you could get this one more than anyone else can. So they're just saying to watch out, wash your hands and everything. I do have a flyer with a whole bunch of information on it if anybody would like one. And then Camden County College, Cooper University Healthcare, and Rutgers Camden's nursing students are working at the Health Hub at Camden County College, and they're providing a one-stop shop for everybody for COVID, and you can get your vaccines, your boosters, 3rd shot, COVID testing, and Camden County is offering the most updated booster shots. The Health Hub is open Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 6 at night. Walk-ins are welcome, but they do prefer to make an appointment to make sure that they have enough vaccine as possible. And you can make an appointment through My Cooper, Camden County Register site, Cooper COVID Vaccine Clinic. And if you go to CamdenCounty.com and you go to their COVID site, you can do it right there online also. Yesterday, Camden County said we had 71 new cases of COVID. 2 of those cases are Lindenwold residents, so keep them in your prayers. I also have, because they're talking the flu, RSV, a regular cold, and COVID, so I do have flyers that show you the symptoms for each of them, so that can help you also. And I do have a flyer on the RSV, which we've spoken to numerous times about that virus, so if anyone wants a flyer about that. Okay, and then just for seniors, is having after-hours ceramic class. So they're doing a couple classes a month, It's no experience necessary. When you go there, they're going to give you your mold, your paint, your glaze, your firing. Seats are limited, so they do want you to register. There'll be a first come, first served basis, and you must be a Camden County resident, 60 years or older, and I also have flyers for that, if anybody would like that. And the last thing I have, I saw this on the news probably about a month ago or so, and it's about a rental scam. So the FBI is suggesting that everybody does a search on their home on Google and see if your address is listed for rent. There's actually people that are putting up properties for rent, and if your house has been on the internet before and up for sale, they'll take those pictures from the previous sale and put it on with their information, and they're very pushy. They want a deposit. The FBI is saying to look out for any misspelling on an ad or in a lease agreement, and not to give anyone money unless you have seen the property and you know exactly who you're giving the money to. So that's all I have for today, Mr. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go back to Cheryl.
Yes. Okay. So just two more things I forgot to mention. I wanted to congratulate Sheriff Whit Wilson. He has been appointed the first African-American president of the Sheriff's Association, so congratulations to him. And I'd also like to congratulate our own mayor, Rich Roach, as being appointed, voted, however it came about, president of the Camden County Mayor's Association. So what a great honor. No other mayor from Lindenwold has served as that, so, oh, you was, right, okay, so you're our second one in town. So congratulations, and I know that you'll represent us well. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I just want to elaborate a little bit more on the dog park. I guess people have seen the fencing going up. I just want to say that it's 150 by 120. It's 2 squares. One square would be for 30 pounds and under on your dogs, then the other one's for the bigger dogs. There's going to be many entrances. When you walk into the entrance, there'll be a holding area before you can open the gate to let the dog get into the next section. We're still waiting on all the signage that the insurance company wants as far as, you know, vicious dogs and, you know, all that kind of stuff. There'll be bags out there to clean up after your animals, trash cans to, dispose of it. There'll be lighting put in for the police at nighttime. The open space, people have questioned me about the open space, why didn't they go bigger? We left the open space so that families can still go down and enjoy the park. We didn't want to take over the whole park with all fencing just for dogs. That's why that park is still open. It will be open from dusk till dawn, whatever the saying is. Just like all of our other parks, that the time frame is all the same. All the work there is being done by our employees, by Public Works. Nothing is being outsourced for anything. And I believe all the money for it was ARP money, so it didn't cost the borough anything. It's all from the ARP money. Any other questions? We can, you can ask me, I can find out, or you can contact Public Works. It's, straight to them if you have any other questions. That's all that I know.
Thank you. All right, this time I want to open the meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. And remember, we will not be answering you until we come back open to the council.
Diane Terry, 637 Fifth Avenue. Mayor, I have this question where it said that you said agendas from 72 to 82. What is the special counsel for? Okay, so that was the one. And to the dog park, how are they going to know what dogs are licensed and which are not? How are they policing that? And what's going to happen when dogs are off the leash and this dog attacks that dog and attacks a person? How are they going to be handling all that? Because a dog park is like a recipe for disaster. I would never let my dog go to a dog park. So, but how are they going to police the license for the dogs? Or do you only police the people who have a responsible dog owner, and you go after them if they have more than the limit? I see dogs on the sites all the time. 4 dogs loose, 5 dogs loose. That's telling me them dogs are not registered if you're only allowed to have 3. So why is no one following up on any of that?
Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, close the meeting to the public and entertain a motion for adjournment.
There's a bunch of us here, actually, sir. We need to be a little more patient. Thank you.
I'm extremely patient, sir, I'm sorry to do.
They don't know the rules. A lot of new people here tonight, gentlemen.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
And they don't want people to know how they really are, Trevor. They won't even answer your questions. 2023.
I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Roxanne Burger. I have been coming here for quite some time, not on a regular basis, but I pop in now and then when I get off of work. So I do have a question regarding the agenda, because I tried to go back to look at previous agendas. But for those of you that don't know, and I don't know, where do you find the actual explanation on the site for all of these resolutions that you passed? Because, for instance, today, I see and I saw on the one that was posted on the website, Resolution 2023-72 to 82. However, today you added two. You added Resolution 2023, 83 and 84. And then you went through it so fast, I couldn't understand what you were talking about. And as our council, I think that the people of Lindenwold should at least know what you voted into a resolution and how come those two particular resolutions weren't posted either on site, which I have right here, or on paper.
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Sir? Sir?
Yeah, I suppose I'll just hand it out.
State your name and address for the record, and
Sure, my name is Dominic Simeone, I'm an attorney, I represent the village of Timber Creek. And with me today is,
Monica Cherie Bogan, I'm the president of the Village of Timber Creek.
and there are also several other people here from the village of Timber Creek. What we want to talk about is, we have a serious trash issue. I have a series of photographs here that I'd like to hand out to the board if that's possible. You take the photos?
sir, we don't answer any questions until we come back open to the council. So you can leave them with the clerk and she can hand them out.
Thank you. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you, ma'am. Well, what I can do is I can show you some of the photographs. Is that, we understand that the municipality has changed haulers in the township, but what that has left us at Timber Creek is with fewer dumpsters. We believe there's fewer dumpsters. We also find that the dumpsters are undersized. Pursuant to the Solid Waste Act 276, Article 2, Section 14, the dumpsters should be a minimum of 8 cubic yard capacity. What we discovered is that many of these dumpsters are only 4 cubic yards, which basically cuts our capacity in half. And the result is, I don't know if you can see it from all the way back there, but just piles and piles of trash overflowing all of the dumpsters. This is a serious health and safety risk to the community. These folks are taxpayers. They are entitled to the same services as everybody else in this municipality. The problem is that we're being underserved. There's also a significant issue with respect to bulk trash. We've been told that there is no bulk trash for the village of Timber Creek, which adds another problem. Now, at Timber Creek, we have had problems with illegal dumping. We've done everything we can to try to catch illegal dumpers. We've even had it prosecuted when we could catch them, and we're trying to make resolutions within our community that when people come in, investors renovate buildings, that they find some other mechanism to dispose of their waste, to try to cut down on the amount of trash. The problem is, if the hauler delivers 4 cubic yard dumpsters, that has to be rectified because it's a violation of the Solid Waste Act. And like I said, I have many members here in the community who will testify. I don't live there, but I can see the photographs, and it is a significant safety issue, a health issue. And the trash dumpsters are just overflowing. And I don't need to tell anyone here what kind of a health risk that is, because that attracts vermin, rats, and what have you. So we would like to have a partnership with the township to try to work out our trash issue. And that's what we're asking for, and that's what we're here for tonight. to see if we can meet with the representatives of the township to address this trash issue. If the dumpsters are undersized, we would like to have the proper capacity. If these are only 4 cubic yards, and we're supposed to have 8, like I said, our capacity is being cut in half. And that's just not the way it should be. So perhaps it's something we have to bring in your trash hauler as well, to have a discussion with your trash hauler to see if we can come to a resolution that benefits not just Timber Creek, but Lindenwold as a whole. You want to say something?
I just wanted to say, I've been at Timber Creek and I've owned my condominium for 23 years. We pay almost $1 million in taxes. During the 23 years that I've been there, of course, it has changed. We have more investors, we have more people living in the units, they're coming in with more kids. So this is definitely a health issue. And if I have to come back every month and we do this over and over and over again, then that's fine and dandy. I know being a registered nurse is not acceptable at my job. The first thing I do think about is safety. I ride my community every day. Mr. Mayor, shame on you. Let me finish. We've been trying to get in contact with you for months, and you referred us to, let me finish. You referred us to your attorney. Shame on you. Shame on you. We are private tax-paying citizens on 278 units. I should not have to drive around my community and look at this trash every day like this. I should not have to keep trash within my own home waiting for them to do the next time they empty the trash. It's not fair to any of us.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak?
Yeah, I would like to say something.
If this is in the same matter,
Yeah, it's in the same matter.
I'm asking you because there's been conversations with these people before.
Okay, can
And
I just say
will
something,
make
sir?
sure
Sir, why do you squash everybody down from saying anything?
I'm not-
We're here, we're being polite, we're being professional.
Go right ahead.
Thank you. My name is Andrea Saper. I'm the owner of Action.
To the microphone, please.
I usually have a loud enough voice, but for those of you who can't hear me.
It's recorded, ma'am. I'm sorry, to the microphone.
For those of you who can't hear me, my name is Andrea Saper. I am the owner of Action Property Management. I own the management company that has now taken on Village of Timber Creek. We started a year ago, Monica? About a year ago, all right? I lived in a condo when I first started this business 48 years ago, and that's how I got on boards and started to eventually open up my own company. I'm a personal advocate for my community. This is deplorable how these people have to live. When we call the Township Public Works, we're told, have the people put bulk in the trash dumpsters. When you put bulk in the trash dumpsters, that takes away from the trash. So we don't have enough room, all right? And not to be able to get appointments with people, to talk to people about this, is also wrong. Under the Municipal Services Act, you're supposed to provide the same service you would provide for any resident in the township. Each resident gets a can. They get trash picked up. Each resident can call for bulk. They get bulk picked up. We don't get any of those services. Why are we being treated like second-class citizens? Thank you.
Ma'am, you done, please sign it.
I would like to remind the mayor and council that this is a public meeting and that anybody
Name and
present,
address. Name and address.
I'm Sarah Bellner. I live at 1201 Timber Creek.
Thank you.
I would like to remind the mayor and the council that this is a public meeting and that anyone here has the right to speak on whatever they choose to. So you cannot deny hearing someone speak on whatever they want to speak about in this public meeting. Let's just remember that. Secondly, I would like to back up the request from Village of Timber Creek and also expand the scope and vision to include our other affordable living complexes in Lindenwold. We do seem to be left out of the picture whenever the town is talked about. unless we're mentioned as a sore point. The neglect of the borough toward these developments is what has led to many of the issues that the same individuals like to point to and complain about as the reason that Lindenwold doesn't have a positive reputation. It is Black History Month. If we don't learn from the past, we're doomed to repeat it. How are we supporting Black culture within our community and celebrating that? Now, that's not even what I came here today to talk about. I want to know about this chapter 34 that is basically saying that if any borough employee or municipal official does something neglectful, harassing, fraudulent during the course of their serving that role, then the only recourse we as residents of Lindenwold have is to sue them and then pay out of our own pockets. Is that what this is saying? That the borough is going to pay? And given that we have a history of borough officials personally harassing residents and individuals, I don't agree to this. I'm not paying for the lawsuits of public officials that can't understand basic ethics or common courtesy. That's all.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Virginia Boyd, with 501 4th Avenue. I just want some clarification on what is the fee for a dangerous dog and what is the clarification? What do you say is a dangerous dog? Because I have 2 German Shepherds.
Anyone else from the public wishing to speak?
Wait a minute, we come in here, they don't answer the question?
No. Afterwards.
I'm sorry. The first one, gonna be my last.
They'll only answer the ones that fit their agenda.
How are you doing, guys? Trevor Trout, 805 North Cross Road. I'll start with a compliment. We're pretty excited about the dog park. I know maybe not everybody is, but we're always looking for amenities to help the community and provide more activities for the community, so we're actually looking forward to that. We have been contacted recently, kind of ongoing, started again around Thanksgiving, about 2 particular issues, one of which is sidewalks. So we're being contacted by people who are trying to sell houses and who are trying to buy houses. And word is that their house sale and or purchases are being upheld because of uneven sidewalks, which we agree with. Sidewalks are pretty important piece of infrastructure, and we agree that they should be repaired. Our issue becomes that there are a number of places in town where historically, and by that I mean at least 10, 15, 20 years now, we've allowed cars to park blocking sidewalks and continue to do so. So how can we uphold house sales on one end because sidewalks aren't safe, but yet on the other end allow cars to routinely park on sidewalks, forcing people who are walking on bikes, in wheelchairs, either to trespass onto people's property or out into the road? Seems like there's still 2 different rule books at least going on in town. And the second that we're being contacted about is the library. 2 main issues. One, the hours are not conducive to people who want to and routinely utilize libraries. Libraries are typically used by members of the community after hours of the school. Our library is currently open only 9 to 5. Students aren't even really out of school and athletic activities by that time. We're also closed, to my knowledge, according to the website, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So there's no weekend time at the library either. So we're paying to have this building in town, to insure it, and maintain it, and so forth, to the tune of what we're told, about $325,000 a year. But yet there's all of these hours in a week that no one can use the library. Secondarily, we're being asked about the library in terms of credentials. Apparently, we do not have a certified librarian in this town, nor do we have a bilingual librarian in this town. But yet, 85% of our students qualify for free or subsidized lunch. 74% of our students have English and Spanish needs, which on the one hand could be a huge opportunity, but we're not taking advantage of it. So is there any movement amongst our governing body to make a push towards having a bilingual certified librarian. Collingswood did this a few years ago. The advertisement that they put out was for a certified bilingual librarian at $10 an hour. Average man hours in a year is 2,000. That's $20,000 a year in salary. We're paying more than double that to have an individual who's not certified nor bilingual. Is there a movement in that direction? Thank you.
Why would they? It's the weight from the mayor.
My name's Ray Gordon. I live at 480 Wilson Avenue, and I have a problem. 2 years ago, I come up here and went in front of these people and told you that we having problems with school number 4, parking all over the place, both sides of the street, blocking the driveways, blocking the mailbox. They knocked it down 3 times. I can't get mail because they're parked in front of the mailbox, in front of the driveway. And pretty much everybody in town knows that there's a problem there on Wilson and Jefferson. You said you would do something about it. It's been 2 years. I was wondering if you come up with any kind of solution for this.
They won't answer. Yeah,
They
you
will
want
answer
to
and state that.
Wait till everything goes down. We'll address it.
We'll address it.
Pardon me?
After we close to the public, we will address it.
Okay.
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Is there anyone else in the public? Do you want to speak again?
Well, I was going to sign, but I also wanted to say, but I know I've been in front of my break. Let me just sign the paper.
All right, close the meeting to the public and entertain a motion.
No, there's other people here.
Come back up and come back up. I'm sorry. You can speak, you're already signed in and everything.
Okay, just for those that are new, can you explain the process that's going on now? Because I don't understand it, but I've been coming, but there's some new people that don't understand what is going on right now.
That's why we coming back,
Right?
that part.
And we would like an explanation of how this meeting is being carried out.
The process is, we open the meeting to the public for any questions or comments. At this time, you can make your comments of anything you have to say to the council. The council will review it. Any questions they wish to answer, certain council persons or that we can answer will be answered at that time.
Like I said, doesn't meet their agenda, they won't answer it.
I also just wanted to bring up that we spend at least $20,000 a year extra in having bulk taken out and extra trash pickups because we're not serviced properly, which all these residents, 50,000, all these residents' condo fees went up this year in order to pay for trash service. So as Monica says, who's our president, we'll be back here every month if we have to until we get some relief.
Thank you. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, closing the meeting to the public and entertain a motion to council. Anyone from council wishing to answer any of these questions?
Yes, and so moved, and I do want to answer on the sidewalk and cars parking on the sidewalk. We have 5 inspection officers in the office. Parking on the sidewalk is a violation. It's a health issue with our drainage down to our sewers, with leakage from vehicles and things like that. So if you do see someone that's parking on the sidewalk, please report the violation, and we'll send someone out there to take care of it. They can't be everywhere, every place. Some of these streets are down side roads where you are not visible from main roads. So if someone is parking on a sidewalk or on the grass, especially the grass, please report it to our office and we'll take care of it.
Sidewalk is also an insurance issue.
Right, and an insurance issue. So and that's in their code book. They have to violate the lifted sidewalks. So, I mean, would you want to buy a home that has uneven sidewalks? You know, you're purchasing a home, you want things to be as close to safe as possible. So, again, you're doing your job. If you see someone parked on the grass or sidewalk, please report it to the office. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Chief, I'm going to put you on the spot with 4th Avenue. Is that something you can address or something we can look into?
No, I'll go out there tomorrow. I know we've been dealing with this, trying to deal with it off and on. And it's good for a while, then it gets bad. And it's usually a new school year comes in, and the problem reasserts itself. You try to go through the schools, we put a new parking lot, try to make sure the parents know to go into the parking lot and follow rules that a lot of parents, when they get in and out, it's easier to park over there. I know it's a problem, it's an inconvenience.
It's not a problem. It's not an inconvenience. It's a major safety hazard. They block both sides all the way out and into Gibbsboro Road. Anybody needs an ambulance, a fire truck, or any immediate service is not going to get it. We do have some older people.
Okay. So it's generally about 40 minutes, morning and afternoon, so we're problems. So we will try to do the best we can. It may require ordinance, no parking signs. But the problem is when we look into that, that means no parking. That means residents too.
Don't bother me at all.
Well, just we got to figure out, maybe you're not doing one of those on that street. So
Why can't we just put no parking this side? That would free 3/4 of the street
We're
up.
investigate that. We're gonna look into it. And that may have to be.
We can't get mail delivered.
Okay, we will look into it, and we will have to explore that option, but we're gonna have to let the rest of the neighbors.
It's been
know as
2
well.
years.
Okay.
How long do you think that might take? Another additional 2 years?
I'm not sure, but
I can speak, chance to speak, let me finish.
I'm gonna look into it.
Thank you.
And some sort of date?
Anybody else want to
No,
answer?
we'll look into it. I'll get back to you on that.
With respect to the residents that are here from Timber Creek,
2 years ago.
Excuse me, 480.
Yes. And 756. I own both lots.
Chief, thank you.
Can't park either one.
With respect to the residents that are here from Timber Creek this evening, I'm Dave Capazzi, I'm the solicitor, and I received a phone call last week from your attorney, and he requested some information, which I did provide. Did you receive an email from me on Friday, Dominic?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because the borough did offer Timber Creek to meet with the residents and your attorney.
We intend to take you up on that offer.
We offered the dates of February 9th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. I just didn't hear back.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what works. Is that gonna be a private meeting between just yourself and me,
Yeah,
or,
look.
but I have to work it out with the management company, I'm sure one of their representatives.
I copied the mayor and the director of public works. It'll at least be the three of us from the borough, and you can bring whoever you believe would be appropriate as a representative. But we did respond to this. I only learned of it last week, and I did get back to you, I think, in a timely manner.
We appreciate you. This isn't our first go-around. We've been denied meetings multiple times.
Which we appreciate.
And can we have other council people
As I
chime in?
indicated, I just learned about this in a conversation with your attorney last week.
Right. I appreciate
We're going to move forward from there.
I will
Thank
respond
you.
to you tomorrow once I see which representatives of Timber Creek and the management company want to come along, and I'll provide them with the dates, and I'll
If
respond
next
to you.
week isn't good, because that's,
It'll
tomorrow.
definitely be next week.
Whenever,
We'll
I'll make
work-
myself
I'm
available.
available.
We'll work something out. And thank you for the photographs. We'll look at them before we leave this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Fonzie.
Anybody else want to answer?
One thing I would like to say, Mr. Mayor, if that's okay. I just want to address you, Mr. Shaw. Just to let you know, I would like to start having a conversation with my colleagues. I don't want to give any answers to regarding the library at all, but I'm assuming that I would have a conversation about the hours with my colleagues at some time.
Thank you.
In regards to the hours, there's only one person there, can't hire anybody, nobody wants the job. So that's why the hours are cut, so we can't keep it at 40, 50, 60 hours.
I need to look outside the family.
The one that's currently there is medical right now, and that's why the hours have been cut. And she is bilingual also, correct?
Triple the
Where's that coming from?
All right, there was a question about why there were two add-on resolutions this evening. Those had to do with hires and personnel. They weren't on the agenda, they got added on because we needed to talk to council first to make sure that they were acceptable, those individuals in those positions. That's why they were added on, and now the hiring resolution went on for this evening for both of those.
And just on the library issue, we will be getting back to you. The $300,000 quoted, the county does subsidize a portion of that library, so we'll get back to you on the exact hours and the cost of the library at our next meeting. Right, to the county, right, not to the borough. So we'll get back to you on that, the arrangement that we have. We're part of the county library system. So it's not completely taxed on to the taxpayers of Lindenwold, but we'll explain that at our next meeting.
Understood, but don't we deserve a certified bilingual librarian?
We have a bilingual employee that's currently out on the medical, so.
It was
But
also.
it's not a librarian.
You're missing the point, ladies and gentlemen, but thank you.
I'm trying my best to, listen, what I'm not gonna do is be heckled. I'm trying my best to answer your questions. For whatever I have to say, you've got a rebuttal to say something else that won't please you no matter what I say. So as I said, the next meeting, I will bring the information about the library, and we'll discuss what the current budget is for the Lindenwold Library.
Okay, Councilor, you're up.
Well, there was a question about why there was a special council meeting. When we have several personnel issues, this was actually a resolution which carried over from last year. This expired at the end of the year, so it's just to basically reinstate those resolutions from last year.
When you're saying personnel, you're saying
Excuse
somebody,
me.
there's a
We'll get
problem.
open to the public.
I mean, he's
Thank you.
answering the question,
Thank you.
I want to
Thank
get,
you.
I'm asking why. Mayor, why are you so mean to us?
What is
You have currently employees, and we gotta pay for it.
Can I have, Councilman back in executive
We
session?
have more questions for the dog park. The signs that are going to be posted are issued from the insurance companies stating no vicious pets, in case of emergency, who to call, police, whatever. As far as controlling who brings their pets there, we can't control that. How can you control that? And most people that take their dogs to dog parks are there for their dogs to have play, not for fighting. So you go to Gloucester Township, these dogs are in there, and there's no issues with them. If you're taking a dog to a dog park, you know that your dog is capable of going to a dog park.
My thing was the license, how are you doing that? How are you gonna make sure they're all licensed?
How do you control it in the whole neighborhood? How do you
No, that's the thing, you can't control the people that you don't like. When you fought me for my dogs, that treat better than those kids in the